Welcome back. Time now for the Executive Spotlight with Pontus Lindwall from Betsson. I'm joined by him in the studio. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. And you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Third day of ice, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Last day, lots of people packed. I think it's good.
Yeah, nice. So you've been involved in Betsson since its inception, and you've been at the forefront of a massive change in the industry.
Yeah.
Looking at the iGaming sector, what's your view on its future?
I mean, a lot has happened during this time. I remember at ICE a long time ago where it was just a shady corner where there were some internet gaming companies, and now it's the full show here. But still, I think this industry is in its infancy and it's going to keep on developing, and not all countries are on the same level yet as some of the more developed countries, so there's a lot more to come from the iGaming industry for sure.
And over this time, how has the role of a CEO changed in your view?
Obviously, from the beginning, there were no large companies, there were only startups, and that's a very special way of building something up, you know, with a small group of people. Today, being the CEO of a stock market listed company with more than 2,000 employees is a totally different story. But I think still it's important to have this entrepreneurship as a leader and drive the company through innovation. That's still important because this is a high-tech industry.
And looking at Betsson's record results in the third quarter of 2022, it certainly feels like the focus is shifting a bit. And considering the business growth outside of Europe, are there any regions that you feel offer strong potential that you're excited about?
Obviously, we're very excited about LATAM, and we have made big efforts into that market, and they start to pay off in terms of users. We have a lot of users there now, we're growing, we see regulation coming up, so that's a market which is maybe 10-15 years behind Europe in terms of regulation and technical infrastructure and everything. So we see huge potential there.
And what about Central and Eastern Europe? Is that performing well?
Yeah, it's performing well. Some countries are doing really well for us there, yeah, we're doing well in Greece, Croatia, even Georgia. So yeah, that's a good area as well.
And do you think that region will become a new focal point for operators?
I'm not so sure. We have a strong foothold in some of those countries. But then we are less competitive in some of the larger European countries like the UK and Germany. And we think it's good for us to spot some of these smaller countries where we still see good potential.
And where does that leave Western Europe, which has traditionally been one of the most successful regions?
Yeah.
As regulation becomes stricter, do you think it's sort of closing it off to newcomers?
I'm sure it is. You know, what I hope will happen in Western Europe is that regulators will kind of, you know, wake up a bit and see that this doesn't really work. If we have a very low level of channelization, that means that we have a high level of black market operators which are not paying tax, who are not protecting the players, and that's not a sustainable situation. So we are looking for the regulators to kind of wake up, you know, and say, hey, this doesn't work, we need to change something. This doesn't go for all the markets in Western Europe, but some of them.
Now, your M&A strategy spans B2C and B2B. Can you talk us through how you identify targets and pursue them?
Yeah, first of all, we have quite a nice deal flow. People are approaching us with all kinds of offerings. On the B2C side, we tend to look for, either when we go into a new market, to buy a strong foothold with a local entrepreneur, as an example, or in a market where we are already present, we want to buy something which we can add on and plug into our operation. On the B2B side, We look for technical innovation that can make us stronger in a certain market or a certain area. We have acquired payment companies with special technology and things like that.
And so it's a strategic roadmap, but also optimistic.
Yeah. It is for sure. Yeah.
And so finally, having served on Betsson's board and led the business on multiple occasions, what's next for you in the business?
I don't know. I find myself in a good position. I find the company in a good position. I don't want to change much at all for the time being. I still enjoy being the CEO, being very active, taking part in all decisions and running the company. So if I'm allowed to continue to do that, I will do that for some time.
And what are your key priorities for 2023?
Obviously, trying to preserve the nice growth that we've seen in 2022, address some markets where we have some regulatory developments. We're seeing what's going on in Finland, looks very promising and interesting. And then, of course, I want to make sure that we continue the journey we have in Latin.
And talking about ICE now, what have you seen at the show that's excited you? Anything that you weren't expecting, maybe?
Not much that I didn't expect, but I've seen a lot of suppliers. I've seen the size of this industry, and we just said that this morning coming on the train here, look at all these people. Are all these people working in the gaming industry? It's amazing, you can't believe that. So in a way, I think one takeaway is that this is a huge industry. It's big and it's still growing strongly.
Growing exponentially as well. Brilliant. Thank you for coming to see us on ICE 365 Live.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Great to get your insights. So stay tuned. Up next, we have the show news.